Look at this place. This is Svalbard, a remote archipelago parked right at the edge of the Arctic Ocean. The environment here is so severe that polar bears actually outnumber the human residents. The local laws are dictated entirely by the cold. It is technically forbidden to die here. The ground is pure permafrost, meaning bodies simply won't decompose. Scientists have even found century-old viruses perfectly preserved inside the frozen earth. The lighting conditions operate in total extremes. Depending on the time of year, you are either living under the midnight sun, where daylight lasts for months on end without a single sunset, or you are enduring the polar night, a continuous stretch of absolute darkness. By almost every metric of geography and climate, these frozen, sunless islands form an inherently hostile environment to sustain any sort of human civilization. And that hostility extends to the mainland. Roughly 70% of Norway is dominated by rugged mountains and thick glaciers, with winter temperatures plunging as low as -40 degrees Celsius. Historically, terrain this difficult forces human settlements into pure survival mode. The sheer volume of rock and ice naturally resists large-scale agriculture and easy expansion. Yet the people living in this freezing geography have an average life expectancy over 82 years. They have access to world-class, completely free healthcare and an education system that costs them absolutely nothing. This chart plots a fascinating contradiction. Down here, we see the plummeting sub-zero temperature baseline. But layered directly on top are Norway's global rankings for life expectancy and overall happiness, consistently sitting in the top 5 worldwide. How exactly did a nation battling deep freezes and extended darkness engineer one of the most successful societies on Earth? The financial engine driving the success sits far out in the North Atlantic. Norway's modern wealth is built overwhelmingly on offshore oil and gas extraction. But back on land, they operate almost exclusively on green energy. They were the very first country to aggressively adopt electric vehicles, rolling out extensive charging infrastructure across their cities. Instead of letting oil revenue flow into general government spending, profits bypass day-to-day operations entirely, pouring into a designated sovereign wealth fund. Zooming out, the scale is staggering. The fund holds over $1 trillion, making it the single largest government-owned investment portfolio globally. They explicitly designed their economy to resist short-term political spending. Every barrel of oil extracted today is locked away to secure the financial stability of generations that haven't even been born. This massive financial cushion enables a culture of deep public trust. It is entirely normal to see the King of Norway commuting to his office through the city streets on a bicycle, completely without bodyguards. That trust extends to their penal system. Maximum security facilities often resemble 3-star hotels, and many inmates are actively permitted to leave the prison grounds during the day to work civilian jobs before returning at night. But this absolute social freedom operates inside specific, rigid boundaries. The government heavily regulates public health and morality, right down to enforcing strict bans on selling alcohol on Sundays. The society thrives on a very deliberate equilibrium. The state grants immense personal autonomy and comfort, provided citizens adhere to a highly regulated collective structure. This specific balance of freedom and respect governs how they treat their land. A legal principle called the right to roam gives every citizen the authority to pitch a tent, fish, and hike absolutely anywhere in the wild. People willingly endure grueling physical demands to exercise this right. This is Trolltunga, a massive rock slab projecting 700 meters over a deep fjord. Reaching this vantage point requires a relentless 10-hour trek through mountains. The entire country is fractured by deep fjords like Geringer Fjord, carved by ancient glaciers and defined by sharp, vertical rock faces and massive cascading waterfalls. Right at the absolute edge of the European continent sits the North Cape. Visitors travel to these towering cliffs simply to stand under the monument and look out over the expanse of the Arctic Ocean. A landscape of high cliffs, freezing water, and deep isolation would normally be something to build walls against. But by establishing the right to roam, the law legally transforms an inherently dangerous geography into a massive shared national playground. The integration with nature starts immediately. Before Norwegian children even tackle advanced mathematics, The primary school curriculum explicitly teaches them how to build fires and survive in the frozen forest. Their mastery of the cold translates directly to their national obsessions. They consistently dominate Winter Olympic sports, largely because cross-country skiing across groomed mountain trails is a standard part of daily life. Even regular global sports are forced to adapt to the geographic realities. In northern fishing villages, local teams regularly schedule football matches at midnight, taking advantage of the constant daylight of the Arctic summer. The ice, the terrain, and the extreme light are not obstacles to be overcome. They form the foundational blueprint for how Norwegians actually live. Which brings us right back to the extreme isolation of Svalbard. Built deep into the side of a frozen mountain is the global seed vault. Inside this concrete and ice fortress, Norway stores and protects the seeds for nearly every agricultural crop on Earth. The permanent permafrost acts as a natural fail-safe, ensuring that even in the event of global disaster, human agriculture can survive. Norway offers a fascinating blueprint. When you combine massive natural wealth with strict financial discipline and pair it with a deep respect for a hostile geography, you end up engineering the highest standard of living on the planet.